In the Huddle was created to give student athletes, parents and coaches an inside look at the journey through US college sport and all that comes with it. The demands, the experiences, the excitement and the opportunities available to our student athletes from around the world. Study and Play USA facilitates a comprehensive, customised approach for student athletes and families for their whole journey, from their high school preparation years right through to US college graduation.
Hi everyone and welcome to another edition of In the Huddle. My name's Alexia and today we are thrilled to welcome Sarah Abrams. So Sarah is an NCAA Division I rower who has just graduated from the University of Tennessee. Originally from the Hunter Valley in Australia, Sarah took the leap across the Pacific to chase her rowing dreams and compete at the very top of the US college system. During her time in Tennessee Orange, Sarah represented the Volunteers with distinction, balancing the intense demands of elite rowing with the challenges of college life. Her journey is packed with highs, challenges, and lessons learned about resilience, opportunity, and chasing big dreams. So from Aussie waters to the NCAA stage, Sarah's story is all about pushing limits, and we can't wait for you to hear it. So without further ado, welcome, Sarah, to In the Huddle.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here.
Yeah, it's so lovely to see you. And I think I often sound, and I try not to sometimes, but I think I often sound like a proud mum when I'm having these catch-ups with our student athletes who have graduated, because I just feel like you've been a part of the Study and Play family for such a long time. Do you remember how old you were when we met?
I want to say like 16 or 15, I want to say. Like that would be my guess if I was to. I think we started chatting when I was end of year 9 almost, maybe.
Yeah. I knew it was, early into high school.
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm trying to rack my brain, but yeah, I think year 9 was the end of year 9 at start of year 10 was when, 15, 16.
Yeah, amazing. So that's where the proud mum comes out as you through high school and to see you now graduated, it's
crazy. Like, I even think that that's when it started. I'm like, holy moly, that was so long ago. It was 4 years, and then I was chatting to you guys for another. This has been 7 years. It's a long time. Yeah.
So it's equal part me feeling proud and equal part me feeling old that you're not doing it. So
more proud, but
yeah. I think that's what I'm going to focus on today is proud. We're going to keep it positive. So, share with the listeners how a girl from the Hunter Valley ended up, rowing in Dallas firstly, and then going to Tennessee. So tell us, how did you learn about the pathway and what was it that drew you to it?
So I always was doing sport in school. Like I was always doing something. I was doing swimming, netball, rowing all the time. Like they were my 3 sports. And then I ended up really committing to rowing. I ended up falling in love with the sport, everything that it is. It's just a whole different experience. Like I now work in sports with my job, and even like from the outside in, I might be a little bit biased, but rowing is such an unmatched sport. But anyway, I got into rowing more like for the social side, and then it developed into that really competitive drive to be kind of up there doing things. And I honestly didn't even know America was a thing. Like I genuinely just joined the sport because it was something that I loved. It was fully just passion. And the first time I found out about, this is really funny actually, everyone asked me, they go, this is not real. Yeah, it is. The first time I ever found out about the US pathway was from a messenger text message from a random coach in America. And I literally said to him, I was like, I think I'm being scammed. Like, this is not real. Like, who messages someone like on Messenger of all things too? Like, I was like, this is so rogue. And then I got a couple more because it was after our nationals, like Australian nationals in March. So I got a couple of messages and I was like, I don't know if this is real. And I chatted to mum, and then mum did her chit chat as mums do. And then I kind of was like, okay, this is really cool. Living in another country, doing a sport that I am obsessed with, that would be amazing. So that was, I guess, my original passion for it kind of got my foot in the door just because I loved it so much. And then actually being like reached out to, I guess, was really, really flattering, to be honest. Like, this is amazing. Like I'm able to like do something I love to get through uni. This is great. And so then Mum and I kind of replied to the coaches, not really sure what to do. And then Mum, I actually can't remember how Mum found you guys, but Mum found you guys. And then we had our first chat with Chris, actually, I think it was. And it was Chris, if I remember correctly.
You do, yeah.
But yeah, it was, and like, Chris wasn't even selling it. Like, I kind of was already like, this is for me. Like, I was like, this is so exciting. I was obviously tentative. Like, it's terrifying moving across the country, across the world. Sorry.
Yes.
Rephrase that one. But yeah, like, it was obviously daunting, but very exciting. I love putting myself in new situations. And I think the idea of doing my sport in another country was, and I didn't even know this pathway was an option. So the fact that it's something that I kind of developed for myself too was really exciting. Like, I worked for that. So, I guess that's how I kind of got into it. Like, a literal Facebook Messenger chat about being scammed, and that's how I got into it. And then when I chatted with you guys, I was kind of sold. Like, it was just, this is what I'm going to do, and that's how I'm moving forward. It might have been reflected in my HSC results, but that's all right. We went to America and we did it. So yeah, but it was
just love that one message completely shifted
100%.
the next steps in your life.
Like, literally one text message from, I think it was Louisville, if I'm correct, but yeah, like, literally one text message. I literally thought it's like Facebook Marketplace, and someone goes, "Is this available?" I'm like, "Yeah, no." Real thing. Like, literally, I was like, and then chatting with Mum, and then found you guys, and then it was on the plane. It was crazy. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think that I just love when things happen organically. And not everyone has that, right? But
not at all.
The fact that it did, and that you just had a love and a passion for a sport that got you to a level that got you that interest for you to go, oh, okay, thanks guys, I can do this.
Awesome.
Wow.
I think that flattering part of like, we want you was really awesome. I think because the Hunter is so disconnected from any city. We're like 2 hours away from Sydney. And that's kind of, unfortunately, where all the rowing is. You're not really going to find a big rowing central hub. I wish it wasn't like that, but I was doing 3 a.m. wake-ups with Mum, going to Sydney, doing my 5 a.m. training, and then driving back to school and getting to school at 10. Like, Mum gets like Mother of the Year every year award. Like, she got me to those trainings in Sydney during the week, and then she did her full day at work. Like, she's a super mum. So grateful for my mum. But there's nothing really in the Hunter to support that other than like my school. I'm really grateful that I went to Hunter Valley Grammar School. Like, I found my passion for rowing there. I can't, like, that was what they gave to me, other than obviously education and all that kind of stuff. Rowing specifically in this context. So I think being from the Hunter, also having someone message you from, like, to just kind of recognize all the hard yards and the travels to Sydney, and like the connections that you've made through your sport from such a small town was, well, Hunter isn't very small, but in comparison to Sydney, like, it's very flattering. And I think that uplifted and empowered me to be like, okay, I could actually really do this and look into this, was very cool. So and then obviously moving forward into the pathway, it kind of just was sold for me after that. But I think that initial just drive for myself with the sport and the passion that I loved it, and then to have that was amazing. Like, just that was
awesome. And you touched on just there about, having someone reach out to you and being like, wow, okay, cool, someone's reaching out and contacting me. And that's something that, maybe it's culturally as that some of our student athletes can not like to feel sold by American coaches, that you're being sold something, or they're recruiters first and foremost. If they want you, they're going to try and do whatever they can to make you choose them, right? 100%. But do you know what I say to our student athletes? Enjoy it. When in your life are you going to experience this, when you have people offering you different things and trying to entice you in different locations and different directions, and not everyone experiences that either. So if you can and you get it, soak it up, enjoy it.
100%.
Don't fight it, go with it.
definitely. And I think I remember this one conversation I actually had with Chris. I was talking to 3 schools that I really liked. I ended up going with SMU, obviously, but I was kind of torn. I didn't know what to do. And then SMU offered me less of a scholarship. And I think when they did that, I was like, damn, like I would have picked SMU if it was financially applicable, because obviously like going to the school in the States is very financially taxing if you don't have a ride. And obviously there's other strings attached to that too, like flights back and forth, what your school does to refund that. Like it's not like you sign the ticket and it's full scholarship, everything's covered. Like you want to go with your friends, you know what I mean? Like there's lots of different things that go into it, but scholarship wise, the base of why you're there. I remember when SMU offered me less than full, and I said to Mum, she was like, it's just not a thing, you know? And I was like, that's completely fine. But I was like, damn, like that was kind of when I went, that was the school I wanted to go to. And I remember talking to Chris, my whole point of the story that I rambled on. But he said, like, you're there they want you, you know, like they are talking to you and investing their time in you because they want you. And so if they're not offering you what you want, you need to tell them what they need to offer. And if they don't step up to the plate, then it obviously wasn't your school. And I was like, right, you're so correct. Like, I was like, you're so right. So like you saying like nourish that experience and like get into it. Like, I completely agree. Like, and I mentioned that to SMU. I said, you guys are my top choice. Like, I want to go to this school and I want to row for you guys, but I just can't. Like, I physically, like, I can't get over there if this is the situation we're going to go into. And then they ended up offering me a full scholarship. Like, obviously that's best case scenario, but if I didn't have that conversation with Chris, I probably would have just denied it and like missed out on that whole experience and my entire collegiate athletics experience. So when you say that, I couldn't agree more. Like, I think being able to recognize that you are special, like you are a student, you are someone from Australia offering yourself as an athlete to work for 4 years as hard as you can, depending on what you want to have your experience, of course, but like working your ass off, for lack of a better word, like you deserve to be at the school that you want to be at. Like, so selling yourself is so important in like this. So yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. And I think there's such a cultural thing of the humble Aussie, right? And
100%.
But you know, you want to get your best option, so you got to put your best foot forward. Ultimately, you went over there and then backed that up and performed. So that's also part of it, is making sure that you're going somewhere where you're going to compete. You know, and feeling comfortable and confident in that as well. You're right, is that there is no harm in asking a coach. You know, if they're coming back with what they believe is their best offer at that time.
Exactly.
And then just by saying, you know, coach, that just unfortunately you're my first pick, which clearly SMU was because of that feeling that you got when they might have been taken out of the picture. You're my first pick, but just financially my family can't do it.
Situation.
And Joe, we get other athletes who say, listen, that's okay for first year, but like, what do you need to see from me in my second year for that to decrease? Like, that's another version of it as well. If it's not something that you can commit to for the next 4 years, but you can year one, for example. So
working together to find that happy medium, I think is important. And and this is something my dad says, like, the worst I can say is no. You know, like, you may as well just ask. And I think when Chris said that to me, I think like, you guys obviously know what you're doing. And so when he said that to me, I was like, no, you're so right. Like, all they're going to say is no. And then that's that, like, you know, so I'm really grateful I had that chat with Chris. Like, okay, yeah, great, amazing. Because like, we obviously within your business, like, there's those interview prep and stuff, which is awesome, because honestly, I thought I was being scammed by Facebook message. Like, I honestly have no idea what to say in a chat. You know what I mean? An interview. So like, having those check-ins and those interviews, I found so incredibly helpfelul throughout the whole process. Like, so good. Like, honestly, not even to try and sell you guys, I couldn't fault you. Like, and I'm not even kidding. Like, I have my coach MJ. She gives me Aussies to talk to. So like, she's the recruiter at Tennessee now. And so she will be like, oh, can you reach out to such and such? Here's her Instagram or whatever it is. Or can you communicate? Or if you know anyone, like kind of shoot them our way. Like we'd love to chat, like whatever. And so I always recommend like going with you guys or an agency, what that fits their best, like whatever their needs are. Like, but I always say like I went with Study Play and they were great. Like I'm not even just saying that to make you sound great. Like I literally did that the other day. Like, and I think like without you guys, I wouldn't have been where I was at all. Like I wouldn't have had that conversation with MJ from Chris, like all those kinds of things. But yeah, like I don't even know what the question was, but that's
Thank you. No, well, it's actually really nice. Thank you, firstly.
No,
and
of course.
Like we chatted before about what I said the purpose of the podcast is, and the purpose is really, it's not for us, it's to educate others and for people who are thinking about this to maybe hear something in it that they might not have thought of one way or the other, you know, but it is nice to hear that because
no sugarcoating.
No, I love it. I think and we just do what we do, right? And so sometimes you get feedback on it and sometimes you don't. So it's just nice to get that. So I appreciate it. But
of course.
That's a prime example of what we talk about in our team of you know, people can do this on their own. They do. I would be lying to say that you couldn't do this on your own.
No, absolutely.
Because people do.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And that's a prime example of you didn't know that you could actually go back to coach and ask that.
Yeah.
You thought you were done.
Yeah.
And, you know, again, I'm blatantly saying it because it's us, but like if you hadn't have had that conversation, then SMU might not have been on the table. And I feel like for a lot of our families that we work with, there are multiple different moments like that it's not if something happens, it's when.
Yeah.
There's always going to be a hiccup. There's always going to be something that you didn't know that you could do that we advise you to do or we do that opens up something else somewhere, whatever it might be. But it's that you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly. Like I genuinely, like I wouldn't have known anything, let's be honest. Like I didn't even know what a conference was when I got to the States. Like genuinely was like, we're in a conference. I had no idea how the collegiate system works.
And that's just your lingo now.
It is. Like I'm like the SEC, the ACC, like Big Tens. Like I know what everything is now, but like previously, like I'm
no idea.
gibberish to someone right now. Like it's just there's so much out there that you just don't. It's just such a deep dive once you get in there, and it's amazing to just immerse yourself in it. But 100%. You don't know what you don't know. So
and. So let's go back to when you started college. So you started in the January. So for the listeners who are hearing, you know, Big Ten and the conference and not knowing, you know, I'm gonna, you know, remind myself of that. As for the listeners who don't know, there's two main intakes into college in the US. So there's the, you know, probably, you know, 85 to 90% of the Study and Play USA cohort every year will start in the August, September. So what they call a fall intake. And that's the beginning of the American academic year. Then there's what they call a mid-year intake, so spring in January. And 10 to 15% of our cohort go in the spring every year. Now, there's pros and cons. You know, I can talk of some of the cons generally is that you have to hustle, right? You're graduating from high school in November. You know, you have to get done in 6 to 8 weeks what other recruits can have 3-4 months to do, which is finalizing admissions, NCAA eligibility, visa appointments. You've got Christmas, you're trying to get everything ready. You're maybe trying to have schoolies with your friends. Like there's all these things that you're trying to jam into a really small period of time. So for what we see, that's a con. However, every single one of our student athletes who have wanted to go in January have gone. Have I got grey hairs because of it? Absolutely. Is it worth it? Yes. But it happens, right? So that's, you know, that can be something is timeline. The pros can be that you can get an offer in January that can't be replicated in the August, you know, that the coach has, you know, roster availability or scholarship availability in the January. And then we can have other athletes that proactively choose January because they don't want to have a break. they finish. I don't want to sit around here for 9 months while my friends are all off starting uni and doing different things. This is what I'm doing. I want to get stuck in.
Yeah.
Then you can have other students who say, you know what, I need that break. I need to really, I want to focus on my fitness. I want to get a part-time job, to help contribute, all those things. So that's from our perspective of the pros and cons that we talk to our families about. For you, what were your thoughts on going? You went in January, so what are your thoughts on going in January?
I loved going in January, but I think it was actually, if I remember correctly, I made the decision to go in. I was going in August. Like, I had signed my thing to say I'm going to SMU. Like, I'd fully committed to them. I'd stopped talking to other schools. Like, that was it. And then MJ, our assistant coach at SMU at the time, she texted me. She was like, thoughts on January? Like, we have more scholarship available. And I think I was up at like Lennox Head or something, like literally on a family holiday with another family.
Mm-hmm.
I was sitting at the beach and I was like, sat up. I was like, January, not August. Like, this is in 3 weeks or a month or so. Like, it was not, I think I made that decision though to go in January that night. Like, I think I sat on it for 6 hours and then decided to go. I loved going in January. It was a hustle for sure. Hustle is the best word, especially for rowing. Like, January, if rowers know this, like, that is camp. Like, that is peak time. You're also going over in winter of America. Didn't think that one through. Going over in winter of America, and that is
a very harsh summer.
Yeah, that very harsh winter. The very heart of winter. Yes, that was huge. That was a huge transition in itself. But anyway, like, you're going into peak winter, which is peak camp. So you are literally from camp of the 1st of Jan to probably like the 20th-ish. Like, you were just smashing out unlimited hours for weeks. And I think that transition was really brutal. And I kind of was like, holy moly, what am I doing here? I'm like on the phone to mum, like crying. I'm like, take me home. This is so much. Like, I'm 17. I've just left my home in a 6-hour decision. I'm like, what am I doing with my life? What's a conference? So I think I was literally like, what is going on? But because of the people that I was there with, like, my team got me through that, and MJ and Kim, I loved. I'm sure we'll dive into why I picked SMU, but I loved my coaches with my whole heart. I still do. And so I think that community family aspect of it all, which I'm sure we'll dive into, really got me through that part, because leaving home at 17 is not easy, or 18 or whatever year you're leaving. It is so hard. Yeah. I think I didn't stop being homesick until 7-month mark. Like, I was still homesick, but it's just such a big adjustment. Like, you don't realize, like, the stuff you need, like a sponge for the kitchen. Like, you just don't, there's so many changes that you don't even.
I love that. That's the first thing.
That's like one of the first things. Like, I was like, I need all, like, when I moved into my first apartment in Dallas, like, I literally was like, I need a pan to cook my food. Like, I have nothing. Like, I literally have nothing. Like, there's so, like, that's just such a shallow thing to think about. But like,
but you'd never lived away from home.
It was never something that ever has crossed your mind. And I think, like, all those big life changes are happening without your central support network you have at home. And so like, that was really tough about January, like, just having that really quick from school to overseas to doing that. Like, that was crazy. And then the visa process, oh my God, that was insane. Like, with 3 weeks, it was crazy. Emergency appointments.
I remember.
Like that. Yeah, me too. I don't forget it. So that, I literally had to move my flights because my visa took so long. Like, it was a crazy process. But within all of this, I wouldn't change it. Like, I'm so glad I went in January, because my best friend, who I met at uni, she started in January too. She was a Kiwi, which I think also made it really helpful. Another international starting in January. We dorm roommates, like, we literally understood everything without having to say a word. And I think we're so lucky in that respect. Like, she's going to be like best friend till the end. Like, I love her to pieces. So I think getting through that together was definitely very helpful. And MJ mentioned to me that another girl was thinking about going. So I think that was another decision maker for me. But another pro is that I got straight into it. Like, I didn't have to sit around, like you said, for those couple of months working. Like, realistically, I was not going to be any fitter than I was. Like, collegiate athletics hits you like a truck, like, especially when you're going to D1 top 20-ish ranked schools. Like it's unlike anything you've done before. It's hard, but it's so worth it and rewarding. And when you're with your team day in, day out, in the hustle, in the grind, like I love it. Like that's just, I loved rowing for that. Like rowing is such a pedal to the metal grind sport. And I loved being in the crap with everyone. Like I just loved getting around it. Like literally one hype woman at the end of the year of senior year, because every crappy workout when everyone's like over it, like no one wants to speak to anyone. It's like end of unlimited hours in camp. Everyone's like crying. Like, I want to go home. Like I'm done with this, like however long we've been training. And I'm just like there, like clapping everyone on. I'm like, let's do it, guys. Let's just get into it. Like, it's so fun. Like, let's just do it. And I internally, I'm like, oh my God, this like sucks, but it's great. Like, I'm just gonna try high everyone up. But like, it hits you like a truck. But like, that really shaped me into who I am today. Like just pushing yourself. So the whole moral of that is that like just pushing yourself beyond any limit you thought you had. Like I found new comfort zones that I didn't even know were possible with training. And also just a human being, like juggling school and collegiate athletics is huge. And like, I think having that going straight from school to where you've got your HSC, like you're already kind of in that study mode anyway. So that easy transition over to just continuing that as well was kind of nice. But yeah, I ended up choosing that because I wanted to go straight away. Like I just wanted to get out of there. I wanted to start it. I didn't want to be having this looming thing. I didn't want to build up in my head. Like it was just a split decision. I was like, we're going, like, we're just going to do it. And then when I had Sophie Hill, my roommate, best friend, she like when I was told that, I was like, yep, great, we're sold. And she was going, and I was like, well, that's that. I guess I'm shipping out in the 31st of December. That's it. Bye guys. Like,
when did you go? What date was it?
The 31st of December.
That's right.
Yeah. Because my flight was the 27th and I had to move it. And then my visa actually came on the 26th. So I had an extra couple of days anyway. But yeah, crazy.
And did mum or dad go with you, or did you go by yourself?
Yeah, everyone went with me to the
nice.
airport. Yeah, that was I couldn't turn around. Like I had the Sydney departure gates and I was just like, I can't look. Like I can't turn around and leave. Like it was so high. I woke up the day of actually crying. I was like, Mum, don't let me go. Like she was like, get on the plane. You've got to go. You've got to do this. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just so many moments when you look back where you just go, wow, that really changed my life in the best possible way. Like just jumping headfirst in the deep end and just pushing yourself athletically, education wise, and then also just in your life, like social skills. It's a brand new social scene, new culture, like everything's different. And so doing that on your own and navigating that is like, I am so grateful I went, because I learned so much about myself and just the way that I can move forward with my life and what I know I am capable of and all that kind of stuff. So that's my very long-winded version.
No, I honestly, I could listen to you forever. So this, I think listeners buckle up. This could be a long one. I've got lots of questions. No, it's good. It's good. You know, and Chris, you know, my husband is testament to this fact is that America changed him. You know, in a positive way, changed him from, to make him confident, being surrounded by people who expect to succeed and they expect you to succeed. Is that something that, you felt as well in that environment? Because I just hear it a lot. And obviously I was not a student athlete myself, but, I hear it so much from our student athletes. I see it, I see it in you, having, known you since you were in high school to now. But do you identify with that?
100%. I think like being it's so hard to explain. Like being a student athlete, I think sport, I'm just going to even start again. Sport in the States is just such a different concept. I think Australia has so much potential to be what America is. Like I just can't even explain it. Like whenever someone asks me, should I go? I'm like, yes. Like I literally, like the first thing I say is yes, like D3, D2, D1, D4, make it up, like go.
Yeah,
like,
just get there.
Like I'm like, just get over there. It's the best
D4,
thing.
D4, that's awesome.
100%, like just get over there, like go do it. But I really identify with that because when you're a student athlete over there, like I think the Aussie idea of being humble is kind of torn down a little bit. Like in the States, you're a student athlete at a college, like you are representing that college. Like kids are born in families wearing their families like uni. Like it's like they are wearing Tennessee, they are wearing Yale, they're wearing whatever school. Like they are literally born in that like onesie. Like that is how they come out of the womb. Like and so like when you go to these schools, like that is the collegiate athletics culture is so enriched in that. And so you turn up to college day one and just go, holy crap, people will die for this school. Like they just like they've worked their whole life to get here. And I think that's such a different in culture that we have here. Like I could not tell you what uni I got into like after HSC. Like I genuinely could not tell you, but I could tell you about all these different unis in the States because it's just a culture they have. Like it's like you represent that school. And I think that idea of representing the school makes you want to drive for success more because the coaches want to do well. Like they bring you over for a reason, you know. Like I think there's that extra, not so much pressure but expectation on international athletes. Like they are paying you a lot of money to get over there and do your thing. And so I think that was something that I kind of took in like to high esteem. Like I was confident in myself because my coaches were backing me. And so having that backing of that, and then also like those messages I got from the get-go, getting into the whole collegiate program, like pathway, I guess I should say. But like, I think that really resonates with me with what you said, because you're being backed so much that you can't not be confident in yourself. And so I think that's something I learned. Like I back myself so much more now than I did before. Like, and I honestly, like there's a difference between being humble and cocky, right? Like there is a difference, but, like there's also being like, yeah, I can do this. Like I'm pretty cool. And like I think it's such a unique experience. Like so many like people that I've talked to that I've met now post coming home are like, that's insane. Like you lived in another country for 4 years. I'm like, yeah, like that is crazy to think about. I literally am like, why am I not there right now? Like I'm like, get me back to my college days. But it's like 100%. Like when Chris is like, it changed me, and I just feel like there was such another level of success. I just think that is so true. Like I think it's just rooted in their culture. Like not even just the uni stuff. I think like coaches want to do well. They want to prove that they can make this school the best. Like, and I think Kim was a huge contributor, the head coach at Tennessee. Kim Capini. She is like, sorry to all my Aussie coaches, but she's like the best coach I've ever had. I love her to pieces. She made me who I am today, and she has such a high standard of rowing. Like she is like, not to sound biased, but like if you want to be good, she will get every inch out of you. And I think that when you say Chris, that like success story vibe, like how you want to put that, like she enriched that in her athletes. Like she got everything out of you. And you can see that from like SMU to Tennessee. Like when we moved to Tennessee, I transferred to Tennessee. When I moved to Tennessee in my junior year, Tennessee was 25th and we ended 3rd in one season. Kim is like a superstar. Like she's incredible. And I think that's just such a testament to her and her abilities. And I will always encourage people to go to Tennessee because I had such a positive experience. But yeah, like I think that pressure and level of success that Kim wants is pushed into the team. And I think that comes from the idea that American sport is so heavily followed and watched and supported. Like honestly, collegiate athletics is low-key bigger than NFL and all of the professional leagues in America. Like it is. When I was leaving, I really saw that shift. Like a lot of people were talking more about collegiate sports than they were like the NFL, ML, whatever. Like I'm not even going to mess up the acronyms, but yeah, like I think that is huge. I think it just is rooted in their culture. Like it really is. It's just a cultural shift. And I think that's really empowering for athletes going over there. Like, because I was like, hey guys, like I'm from Australia, like whatever. And they're like, that's sick. Like you're an Australian in the States. I'm like, wait, that is really sick. Like what? So I think like that, even that just concept. So
yeah. And I think that the only thing we have to compare it to here, and it's probably a stretch, but like where like our son goes to a big boys school here in Brisbane. They're a big sporting school. And, when they have, their first 15 playing rugby.
Yeah, they're rugby. Yeah.
It is like
is big.
Yeah, you know, you can get 15,000 like old boys to it, and that alumni, and bringing all of that in, and the school and all of that. Like college is that, but on steroids.
Yeah,
it is just
every sport.
That's right, and and I think I laugh. I remember. So when I first met Chris, he'd been in college. We met back here in Brisbane, you know, 6 months after he got back from college. And here I am meeting this guy telling me all this stuff that he's experienced, just like you are, with that same level, passion, love, you know, fire in the belly.
Yeah.
And I'd never heard of it. And
it was seriously.
And I honestly thought like he was, you know, telling a few furfies.
So he's trying to impress me right now. Like, cool. Yeah.
But then, you know, fast forward a couple of years and we're heading back over to Oklahoma State University, to Stillwater, to see all of his friends. And for me to see that, which was, you know, I've been there a number of times since, but that first time I remember. So I'd keep in your mind that I did not believe him. I did not believe that this level existed over here, some element of doubt. And so I'd never been to a college sport game at all.
Yeah.
The first game I go to is wrestling.
Wrestling?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yep. It's not what I expected you to say at all. Yep.
30,000 people watching wrestling. And here is little Alexia Bates from Brisbane in her little pink hoodie when everyone else is in orange and black. Yep. And I stand out in this place.
Yep.
And it nearly shatters some lights because the sound barrier was broken from people screaming. They ended up winning. There's people hugging, crying, kissing each other.
Yep.
Chris still tells people this, and it's actually true. I cried because I had never experienced anything to that level to date to that point in my life, like from a sporting environment.
Yeah.
So it's like, and this is coming from someone who wasn't a student athlete, like it's just phenomenal.
It's insane. And to be that athlete, like, is even crazier. Like, rowing is definitely not the biggest sport in Australia by any means, but like, I remember our first media day and I was like, holy crap, like I'm like being celebrated for rowing. Like, this is crazy. And I think rowers are sometimes overlooked in Australian sport sometimes. Like, and I think just because like, it's not really a spectator sport, right? Like, it's a 2-kilometer race. We
love you guys at the Olympics.
Yeah, like it's,
you know,
great,
we all get on board at that.
Like, the World Championships are on right now, and I'm sure not a lot of people know that. Like, and so it's like, because the athletics is on, you know, which I understand. Like, it's just not really a spectator sport, and so to have like sports like wrestling, like I was like, I wouldn't expect you to say that. I was going to say football or something. Like, it's the same thing, right? But it's like all those sports that are kind of more niche. Are still celebrated in the same way.
Same level, absolutely.
Amazing. And I think that's something that's completely different about Australia. Like, when you said rugby about big schools, like I knew you were going to say rugby because it's just like, it's that mainstream sport, right? I get it. Rugby's great to watch. Like, I love a rugby game. I'm not hating. I'm just saying, like, that's culture, right? It's like America does American football, UK does soccer. Like, we all have our sports, but to have the collegiate system celebrate athletes in that way and have 30,000 people at a wrestling match, have 20,000 at a women's volleyball game, like, it's unbelievable. And I think it's just such a missed potential here in Australia through universities. It's just a way to have athletes perform for your university and get into it. Like, I am a Sydney Rowing Club girl at I think a lot of rowers will understand what I mean when I say that, but like, when we verse Sydney Uni, it's like, it's on, like, that is they're our rival, you know what I mean? And so, and like, I have a lot of really, like, one of my best friends, Zara Collison, she rows for Sydney Uni, but like, I love her to pieces, but if we're racing each other, I'm like, I don't want to talk to you.
We're not friends,
like,
right
we're
now.
not friends. And I think that like rivalry could be so enhanced if Australia tapped into what America has, you know? So I kind of, not to say it's not there, but I just think in comparison, it's not there, you know? So
absolutely.
And what you're saying. Yeah.
And I think we're trying, but I also think that from a population perspective, you know, you've got 26 million to 350 million.
Crazy.
You know, the NCAA alone is like at least a $65 billion entity.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, I don't think that, we can try, but I just don't think from
It's
a
never going to
nation
be
of our size, it's never going to match up to something that's been established for decades and decades, right?
Yeah.
But I'm going to put my head down and read this now, because these are your career honours, okay?
Okay,
And
great. Can't wait to get these.
and so this is, if you look at the Tennessee website and you go to Rolling and you go to, this is everyone at home, this is your job to do. You can see Sarah's bio and everything that she achieved. So I have stolen this from there. So your career honours. So we've got 2024 CRCA First Team All-American, All Big 12 Rowing Team 2024. You CRCA National Scholar Athlete, SEC Academic Honor Roll, Big 12 Team. Represented Team Australia at the 2024 World Rowing Under 23 Champs. AAC Boat of the Year Varsity 8, AAC All Academic Team 22-23. So that's just some, right? So out of all of those honours, and I note that some of them, and we may need to explain it for our listeners, some of them are athletic, some of them are academic. What are you most proud of out of that, Sarah?
Oh God. I think like, wow, I did a lot of things I didn't even realize. Yeah, I think obviously making the Australian team was like one of the pinnacles of my career. I think like I was working towards that. It's why I transferred to Tennessee. Like I knew I needed Kim to get there. So I think I owe a lot of my career actually to Kim, well, my whole career really, and MJ, sorry. But yeah, she's listening. But yeah, I love you too, AJ. Big ups. Yeah. No, I think rowing for Australia, like putting that green and gold on was just such an indescribable feeling. Like I just was like, holy crap. Other words were used, but yeah, I was like, holy crap, this is crazy. Like I am literally going to be going down the course against like Italy and other countries. Like it wasn't like I don't know, like it's just, I don't even know how to explain it. Like I literally was just like, holy crap, like there's a kangaroo on my back. Like this is crazy. And I think that was kind of when I went, holy moly, like I've done it. Like I was like this girl that started rowing when she was 12 for social vibes, and also because I liked the logo the school had on their website, like literally when it all started, and now I'm in Canada racing for my country. Like that was a crazy moment. But I think like that's the obvious go-to answer. But I think getting the Scholar Award was huge for me. Like I think I have always kind of never really considered myself to be a super intelligent person. And so I think like having that reflected through my grades while juggling sport, like 20-hour full-time work weeks basically, and you're like, obviously work is tiring, but when you're training at that level all the time, twice a day, every day, it's one day off a week. It is so full on. Sometimes you just lay on the floor and just exist. And so it doesn't happen. And so like to be able to still get that Scholar, I don't even know the name of the award, but like to be recognized on the honor roll was really, really special. And I think really a testament to how much student athletes put into their schooling. Like it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Like you are training day in, day out. Like you are doing school until 10:30, 11, pulling all-nighters sometimes because you have not had time to do it, because sometimes it is athlete student, it's not student athlete. Like, and that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Like there's a different level of expectation for international athletes, and because you are being paid to be there, like on a full scholarship, whatever your situation is. Like I was very fortunate that was mine. And so like I had felt like I had a big responsibility to show up for Kim. Like that was my job. Like I was there to row for her, and sometimes it had to be athlete student. So I think having that adaptability with that idea of athlete student versus student athlete, having that honor roll was really something that kind of was a testament to like, yeah, like again, you can do this. Like it's not sunshine and rainbows all the time. I can do hard things. Like girls, I'm just a girl. Like I can do things, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and it's like 100%. And I think that was really cool. Like I think I was really proud of that. Definitely was not without help from my teammates and all that kind of stuff, and doing literal work in my locker 10 minutes before training started and submitting something on Canvas. Like there was obviously really grim moments, but again, not sunshine and rainbows, but I think that was really proud of. Yeah.
It sounds like, you know, just grit, right? Just put it in when you need to. And
100%.
what you've talked about, all the support that you've got, you know, from your coaches, from your team. What sort of support did you get on the academic side of things as a student athlete?
The world's your oyster as a student athlete. It's as simple as that. Like especially at Tennessee, they're a big school. I didn't really going into it think about how big the school matters. I'd obviously spoken to you guys about like class sizes. When it's a bigger university, you're going to have 100 class lectures versus 30 students. If it's a smaller private university, that was a big thing I saw between SMU and Tennessee for specific classes. But I think academic wise, it was kind of the same for SMU and Tennessee if I'm comparing the two. But I had my academic advisor. She was great. We kind of cycled through a few through rowing. But when I was at Tennessee, we had one. So she was great. She helped me select my classes, what classes I need to take, what summer courses I need to do, like all that kind of stuff. My dog is woofing in the kitchen, if you can hear that. I'm so sorry. Anyway, but so she was great. I would literally tell her, I'm struggling in this class, I need a tutor. It would be set up the following week. Like that was ready to go. She was always a text away if you're freaking out about a class or whatever you needed to do. Like there was a way to solidify that. Like, and also another great thing about being a student athlete is you get early class selection. So we would literally be on the water doing our session and we'd have our phones with Kim, and she would literally come up to our boat and give us our phones, and we would log in and do all our class, like sign up for all our classes and stuff. And that's
before the other students.
All the other students, yes. Yeah. So like we got early access to all those classes, which was great. So you were still able to do your classes and what you needed to do to graduate, but as like a student. So that was 100% looked after, which was great. I'm trying to think of what other things now that I'm like reflecting on my time. But yeah, tutoring was always there.
What about when you were on the road, like in season?
We had our academic advisor. She would come with us and proctor.
Oh, wow. With you. Yeah, right.
Yeah, so sometimes she would come. If not, like she would help you reschedule all of your exams. And I think being a student athlete helps that, because sometimes you get some professors that aren't too nice, and other times you get really nice professors that are like, yeah, we'll do it when you get back or whatever. But working with them and then taking it up higher if you have to, like they will work with you and your schedule to make sure that you have that. So like, and there's ways to do your tutoring online, so you can still do tutoring on the road, because sometimes you're away for a week at a time doing stuff. So they really help you to work with your professors when you're away, and then doing proctored exams, as I said, and sometimes she'll come if need be. So yeah, like there's so much support in that space to do that. And we also did like some exams to see whether or not like you struggled in different areas, and so they did like enrichment courses that way, because exams are different in the States. It's very multiple choice instead of written, which is more of an Australian style. So yeah, that off the top of my head, that's kind of what we have. It's which is great. Like it's
absolutely
really good. Like and you had access to all the academic advisors too. Like you obviously had one that was central to you, but because we had 60 girls on our team, it was kind of spread, like that's a big load for one person with freshmen to seniors. Like, so she would also talk to our other advisor that kind of fluctuated and changed throughout the year. But yeah, so we always had extra support to lean on. So yeah.
Awesome. And I think that's good, because a question we do get asked a lot is, I just don't understand how this works. So you say I'm going to be like a full-time student and get my undergrad, my bachelor's degree, but I'm also going to compete at this really high level. And again, it just comes down to having really nothing to compare it to here, right? So it's really good to get that understanding of of the infrastructure that they put in place for
To
student
ensure that you're
athletes.
supported. Yeah.
Yeah, that's excellent. And you referenced earlier that, one of your biggest achievements is, making the Australian team. And again, so I just want to go back to that, because there can often be a thought of, if you go to college, you're giving up your opportunity to represent your country.
Yeah.
And we get that a lot across many sports, of that it's almost like it's mutually exclusive. You either want to stay here in Australia and represent here, or you go to college and you can't do both.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Obviously, someone who's done both.
I think it's not true. It does have the complications as you are not in the country, but it's not true. I think I can only really speak to rowing as I understand how that works, but they literally, I think there are so many rowers in the States that are Australian and New Zealand as well, but they literally have trials for Australian American based athletes for the rowing team. So I think and we always, I'm still getting emails from Rowing Australia about keeping in touch about where we're at post-collegiate stuff. And so I think Rowing Australia has done a really good job of kind of bridging that gap, because I think they realised how big of a gap there was between the athletes that are there and aren't there. So I think also, they flew some of the Aussie girls that missed out on the under-23 team to the American trials to trial again. So, I think the idea that it's mutually exclusive, I don't think really is true at all, because obviously I'm the exception, as many other athletes before me, not just me, but I think you're not bound by your contract at Tennessee, SMU, whatever school, that then means you can never row for Australia. They actually, or run or whatever it is, they actually encourage it, because not only does it make them look great, they've got an Australian based athlete in their team, that's pretty cool, but also they're a part of that journey, they're helping to get there, and so I transferred unis to ensure that I could do that with my coach, without her, I wouldn't have done it. I just didn't have the training. And I think also my situation's obviously very different to others, but I'm 2 hours away from Sydney. So for me to even be in the mix, I would have to live somewhere else. And so I think having the ability to live in the States, have the training that I need, get a degree at the same time, and then have that enrichment of the Australian American-based athletes is great, because I was able to achieve both without it being mutually exclusive. It honestly probably would have been harder for me to do it here, because I would have had to pay Sydney rent, and I'm not really interested in doing that.
No.
You know what I mean?
You can do that.
Yeah, exactly. Personally not me, but yeah. So I think the idea that they're mutually exclusive isn't true. I think if you want to do it, you can, and if I think it's a mindset thing. If to be completely blunt, I think obviously there are challenges, but there are challenges in anything. You can be challenged to get the job you want or the degree you want or whatever, but this is you making the Australian team. Obviously there's a lot easier said than done, but if you want to do something, you will do it. It's such a mindset thing. That's something I realized in the States too. If you just don't want to do it, you're not going to do it. So the idea that it's mutually exclusive, no, I think it's complicated. Yes, there's different ways to get there. I think Rowing Australia does a really good job of bridging that gap.
I would agree with that, actually. Very much so.
I think it's just if you want to do something, at the end of the day, you're going to do it. If you don't want to do it and you half-ass it, it's not going to happen. So,
and I think, further to what you've said about them doing a really good job, I agree with that. And I also then think as a governing body, acknowledging that this is a very, very valid pathway, and it keeps athletes in the sport. So not everyone's going to, whatever sport it is, swimming, rowing, water polo, track and field, not everyone's going to be an Olympian. Not everyone is at level, right? Yeah. And so to offer another really valid pathway that is then going to keep people in the sport, because when I asked you earlier, so what are you doing now? Well, you said, funnily enough, I'm coaching rowing, so look at you back here, back in the system, so to speak, bringing an amazing experience, a wealth of knowledge. So, you're talking about Kim and MJ and what the knowledge that they have imparted on you. You're now bringing that back to your rowing community.
Yeah.
And taking, I just think
so special.
Yeah, isn't it? And so Australia is benefiting from that.
Yeah. And there are girls in the NTC, the National Training Centre for the Australian team, that are from the States. I think there are, well, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think there's 4 or 5 girls that are in the Aussie team. So they've graduated, come home, and are now in China right now, racing at the champs. And so there's another girl that I'm friends with that I rode with at Worlds last year, and she's actively at Stanford right now in sophomore year, I want to say. Sorry, Spaz. But yeah, she's in sophomore year, and she is actively studying, and she is with the Australian team in China. So they will work with you and achieve your goals. It's not a mutually, it's complicated. She's doing study right now on that campaign, no doubt about it. And she's not actively training with the team in Stanford and whatever, but she's still doing her Aussie stuff while actively being in the college system, not even graduated. So awesome. If you want to do it, you're going to do it. That's
absolutely. And the universities, I think the biggest thing is that the universities in the US are going to support you. The majority are going to support you through your Australian. And if that's your ultimate goal, then what we're encouraging our student athletes to do is when you're in the coach communication part of the process and talking to different coaches, you're sharing that this is your goal. Yeah. 100%. And how does that look for you guys? If I get picked in the Australian team, if I reach that goal, and that can be a part of your decision-making tool, right? Yeah. Oh, no, that's, actually, I'm sorry, that wasn't an original question. That was one that just came to me. So I am very glad that we chatted about that, because it's something that we get asked a lot, right? And it's, will this mean that I'm excluding this? So it's really good to hear about someone who's lived it very recently. So that's fantastic. So
from a rowing perspective, yes, it's definitely accomplishable. I can't speak to other sports, but
of course,
100%. I would imagine that it's pretty similar, but yeah.
So I've got a couple of questions sort of to round out our chat, Sarah. So have you got advice, and I know I'm getting you to talk with your parent, thinking of your parents, right, when you went to college, and you were saying that you're ringing first semester crying, Mum, I don't want to, which is, I don't think there'd be one family who has had a student athlete or had their son or daughter go to college, at any stage, not have that phone call from 100%. The other side of the world crying. And
all you want to do is fly over and get them.
Oh my goodness. I've got a 16-year-old boy. I can't, I can only imagine what that feels like, right? So there's that side of it. But do you have any advice for parents of rowers who are maybe going through the recruiting process now, who are thinking about it or have just started their journey, knowing what what you needed, what your and certainly, no one's perfect, no one's going to get it right, but just having gone through it yourself, do you have any advice there?
I think this is going to sound so cheesy, but just trust the process. Mum, really was my rock throughout first semester. I had my girls around me, but I think Mum really got me through it. She was like, Sarah, give it 3 months. If you hate it by the end of 3 months, we'll talk about coming home. If you really hate it, we can bring you home. And that's always an option. I don't want to encourage that, but you can leave at any point. There will be hurdles to jump through, and it will be a huge choice. But I wouldn't recommend it, but you can. If that's what suits you in your situation, 100% I would recommend it for you. That's you. But for me, there was no way I was going home. If those phone calls were recorded, I would literally laugh now. I literally feel like she had no idea what was coming. She loves it. She misses it so much. And so I think for parents that are receiving those phone calls of their daughter or son, in shambles on the other side of the phone going, take me home, trust the process. Give it time. Nothing good is ever easy. And I think allowing yourself, like we kind of spoke about this earlier, like being kind to yourself in those moments are really important. And I think it's really hard to look at it from an outside perspective. Like your kid is calling you, all you want to do is like, oh, come home, it's all good.
Make it okay. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's the innate response to that. And so I think taking a step back, going, the opportunities that are in front of my child right now, like they need to know that, like they need to know that they can do this, like having that confidence in themselves to be able to make that transition work. Like any transition's hard, like transitioning back from the States is hard. Like,
yes.
And I think that would be my advice. Like, trust the process. Know that you've picked the right school. Know that you've done everything you had. You've done you needed to do. Like, you've done your research. You've backed your decision. Like, you wouldn't have picked a school or gone ahead with it if you weren't sure. So,
yes.
like, I think being 100 in your decision also is so important. Like, I think that idea too is super, super good. So that would be me. Like, super cheesy, but trust the process.
No, absolutely. And
100%.
So I'm not sure if you remember, but before our student athletes depart, you know, whoever they've worked with from our team, whether it's Chris or one of our other recruiting mentors, they always give what we call a departure call. So it's like, you know, a week out, just hey, how you feeling about everything? And, you know, whoever works with Chris, you know, it's normally a 20-minute phone call of him imparting his words of wisdom. It might be a bit shorter, but Chris, and I've listened to many of them and heard them, and you know, it's about you know, nothing's going to be perfect. You know, you're going to have to be open-minded. You know, you're going to meet people of all different walks of life. Your bed might be uncomfortable. You know, you might show up to training and not perform well your first couple of times. You know,
it happens. Trust me, it happens.
Yeah, you know.
Even in senior year, it happens. It always happens,
Absolutely. You know, so there's just, it's never going to be, you know, like you said, it's not all blue skies and rainbows, and it's not going to be this perfect road where you go over there and everything's going to be as you thought it was going to be. So it's just about remaining open and not closing yourself down too quickly. Yes, you can ring mum and dad and
100% have to cry. Like,
you've got to get it out,
because then you go, oh, mum still wants me. Like, that's good. Like, it's kind of like, I think almost therapeutic, like to just let it out.
Get it out.
Especially like, and communicating with your other, I guess, like advice to people going over is like, lean on your teammates. Like, these people are going to be in your life day in, day out. Like, and they know exactly how you're feeling. They had the same amount of course load. They are doing the same thing as you. They are in and out of the mud with you. And I think leaning on those people and really being open to your coaches and being honest about where you're at. Like, you don't need to be this like stoic person that's come from Australia, like, I'm ready to go, I don't miss home. Like, you don't need to show that. Like, you can be vulnerable with your coaches and your teammates. Like, that's the point, right? Like, you don't, like, the reason I chose SMU was because Kim and MJ were my coaches. Like, I didn't pick it for like this big name school. Like, I didn't even know what a conference was. Like, I literally picked it for Kim and MJ, and I just happened to have this really good gut feeling, and it really worked out for me because I'm a very competitive person. But like, I genuinely picked Kim and MJ because I just clicked with MJ, and she was my main recruiter. And MJ and I still text all the time, and same with Kim. And I just think the idea of just backing your choice, like in those moments when you're like, I feel so bad, but I have to go to training, like, just be vulnerable. Like, they're those people that have encouraged you to come. They're going to nurture you and they want to put their energy into you. So let them do that and let them build you up to be someone that is able to then trust the process. Because I think if you are in that position where you don't allow yourself to be open, you're not going to be able to trust the process because you're not being vulnerable and being, like, I guess, open again to that growth and that transition and such and such.
Yeah.
I can ramble on about that for
no.
I was like,
I could listen to you.
100%.
Do you know what? I think we have to always come up with a name of the pod or the title of the podcast. We're going to call it, I didn't even know what a conference was.
Yes.
that good. I think that's
genuine, and it's like no word of a lie. Like pick your D4, choose your own conference. Like seriously, I literally had no idea. Like if like I don't even know how. That's not anything on you either. Like I genuinely did no research. Like I literally just went whatever. Like which is so rogue. Like when you think about it, like 17 conference. What is it? Like the whole premise of the rowing. Anyway,
I know. Isn't that amazing?
I know.
All right, so I'm going to wrap up with one last question. And again, when we were catching up before we started recording the podcast, we talked about this, and it's about the transition back, right? Yeah. So the transition over is one part, right? Is transitioning over, and you're having 4+ years in the US and creating lifelong friendships, creating your tribe, and then eventually that comes to an end and everyone has to go back to where they came from, or they stay in America, or whatever it is that they do, but they move on, right? And so you've come back to Australia. You're back at home right now. And something we talk about in the office quite a bit is this transition back, because we've got team members who are, recently, returned from college themselves and coming back and finding their feet in Australia and with their friends and with their family. And, if you go back to living at home, all of a sudden Mum wants to know if I'm home for dinner. No one asked me whether I was going to be home for dinner for the last 4 years. No one needed to know my whereabouts. And there's just so much to it. So how have you found that? And, through the challenges, what have you been doing to help make that transition a little bit better every day?
I think nothing could have prepared me for the transition. Like I think I kind of said to myself at the end of senior year, I was like, I'm done with rowing after this. Like, do your big one, like get into it. I kind of was like, I want to devote my time to myself. Like it's not selfish, like that's what everyone should do, but like in a selfish way of like, I've been in a team sport for so long. Like you show up for your teammates and yourself, but you do it for the people around you. Rowing is a sport that is bigger than yourself. And I think a lot of sports are like that when you go into a collegiate space, but especially just with my experience, like it is a sport that you do for other people. And I think for me, in my head, I was like, I'm done after this. Like I'm ready to just do if I make the Aussie team, awesome. Like one more race after NCAAs, like whatever, because you trial in June after NCs in 3rd of June, like late June. But anyway, that's regardless of context. But yeah, I was like, I've got one more race after this if need be, like cool. And then I'd be with my Aussie girls, like, because it would be an Aussie boat, like, which is great. And then had that. And then I had, because of, this is kind of a can of worms, so it's all wrapping up, but like,
no, go for it.
Because of my eligibility, like when I went in January, that was, I guess, a con we could link back, but I only got 3.5 of rowing because I went in Jan, because I raced. I didn't get the full 4 years because I went early. So which pro and con, like I was able to just live my life as a uni student. And I think that really helped personally my transition. I was really lucky in that regard. And my roommate, my best friend, Sophie, was in the same position. And another girl, Sasha, who was on the team, was in the same position because she was an American and she ended up going back to Tennessee and got her grad degree because of COVID and all that kind of stuff, different years and whatever. But so she had an extra 6 months. So we all, like my 3 best friends and I, kind of all graduated at the end of the time. So we had that time to transition as a non-athlete together. So I think that for me really helped, because I kind of lost rowing in 6 months and then I lost America after that. So it wasn't like I lost,
it was like a stage.
It was like, here's a taster, here's another like pullback.
Yeah.
So I think like that really helped me. But I literally got home and I remember the day so clear. It was Christmas Day. So I got home on the 24th of December. So I was so jet lagged. I was sitting down at the table and my sister was getting a present. Actually, this sounds horrible. It's not about the present. I literally started sobbing. Like I literally started crying. And Mum was like, what's wrong? My sister went and picked me a bouquet of flowers. I was like, it's not about the presents. I can't believe I'm home. Like I was like, what is going on? I just had like this full identity crisis. I was like, what am I doing? Like I literally, like I'm not rowing anymore. I haven't rowed in about 6 months. Like I've just been living like a college student. Like I don't have a job. Like I was like, do I pay rent at home now? Like, what am I doing? Like, what is this? Like, I live in my high school bedroom. Like, the wall is blue. Like, I'm like, what is going on? And so I think like transitioning was so hard. I think I'm kind of now, what is it, like September? I came up in December. Like, I am last year just now feeling like I've got my feet. Like, it takes a long time. And I think the idea that we kind of spoke about earlier, like be kind to yourself, is so even more relevant now. Like, I think you have such, as you said, tribe, like you have your people, like you find yourself over there, like you leave one person and come back another. And so I think, and you're also coming back to a place that is familiar, but it's new because you haven't been there for 4 years. Like, you've said hello and you've said goodbye to your friends that you've caught up with for the 3 weeks you're home, or whatever the schedule looks like for whatever sport. But like, it's so different, like, but it's the same. And I think that's what's really hard. I think going from, like, I lived in Knoxville, like that was a huge country music, like country bar, Western, and then you come to Newcastle, like, where are you going to a country Western bar? Nowhere. So I think like, or even like all those little cultural shifts in that department too was tough. But the way that I kind of coped, the whole premise of the question, I started actually like going on a lot of walks and just listening to like self-help podcasts. Like I was like, what do I do? So I think trying to just kind of figure out, because you've kind of found out who you are in the States and then you're finding out who you are at home. And I think having that, like those moments to yourself to just kind of reflect on where you're at was really important for me, like listening to those podcasts and going for a walk and like having my family around me to support me with whatever need I needed. Like, I was like, Mum, I just need to cry on your shoulder. I'm fine. I just need to cry. Or whatever it is, like,
get it out.
100%, like having those moments was also really important. And I think I am lucky that I was able to go straight into rowing coaching. So like, I still had my foot in the door of rowing. Like, I was still I still am rowing coaching. But like having your foot, I guess your toe dipped in, really helped for me. Like, not just being cold turkey gone. Like, I think that was obviously the 6 months transition, as I mentioned earlier, but I was still in the States, you know, so like coming home and having my toe in was great. And working in the sports space now, I think, has been really good. And I think I'm a lot more confident to go back to uni next year and do what I want to do actually, which is in the health field, not even sport. So I think the transition is hard, and I think it's very unique to what you need in each situation. So for me, like, I needed to go for long walks and have my headphones on and walk the dog and just kind of be present in the moment and think about how this lady on the podcast is telling me that breathing through something is going to help you, which it is. I'm not taking the mic, but my facial expression said otherwise, not what I meant.
No.
So like, it's like, I think actually being really present was really helpful, because I think in the States, like, it's always a whirlwind. Like, there's always something going on. You're always training for 1 million hours. You're going to a football game, which is insane. The American experience, or a wrestling match, whatever it is. So, like, you have all these experiences that are so constant, and then you live with your parents again. Like, when you first come home, and the dinner thing is so real. Like, I actually yelled at me last week for not telling her. I was like, right, I have to do that still. Like, all those little things that you don't even think about, like going back to the sponge, like the sponge is a home. You don't need to support yourself in those little ways anymore. Like, you don't need to have all that stuff. And so everyone's situation is different. But I think that for me, like, being present and just being aware that, like, it is hard. And I think I was talking to Sophie all the time, like, and she was like, are you like in the trenches as well? I was like, yeah, like I lived with her for 4 years and I haven't seen her in 6 months. Like, it's so weird. And I think having ways, if you're able to, like, to connect with those people that you had, like, in person is really important. Like, I have a countdown on my phone till like when I'll see her again, and like, it'll get easier. Like, it's literally, I've been home for 9 months, like, and so 10 nearly, but it's just having what works for you and identifying how you need to transition. I think is really important. And I'm realizing that there's no perfect advice. There's no perfect timeline. Everyone's is different. And I think, like, for me, I found that I needed to have my foot in the door still. I needed to be in the sports space. So I'm still actively doing stuff with sport, but it's not in the same light. And I think that really helped me. And then doing little things like a walk, or I don't know, like catching up, making an effort to see your friends and talk to your American friends, just make that shift easier until you don't need to rely on that once a week phone call with an American friend, or like whatever it looks like.
Yeah, bit by bit.
Yeah, like you kind of just like get a little bit more used to it. It's like when you leave like to Australia, like to America, like you kind of go, Mum, what do I do in this situation? You're calling her every 5 seconds, and then you don't call her once a month, but like for issues that need help with
less and less,
you need less and less of that support in that way. So
that makes sense.
I think it's the same but reverse. And I think it's just trying to find out who you are in a town that you had known for so long, and then shifting it forward into, this is who I am now. Where does that reflect, and where do I sit now? I think that's where that transition and challenge is. But
I think you just articulated that really well. And the other thing is, you're only 22. Like,
literally, like, and I forget that. Like, I know, I'm a 30-year-old woman at home. I need to have a job. Like, I need to get married yesterday. What's going on? But I'm 22. Like, and you probably
feel like you've lived a whole life already because of, the experiences that you've had, the travel that you've done, all of those things. But, and again, it goes back to being kind to yourself and patient.
Yeah.
It's, and it's exactly what you did going to the US, but in reverse, and just bring that. And that was being kind, patient, and trusting the process again. 100%. Right.
Like, and now you know what a conference is. So you've learned.
Yeah, and that's it. And so you know more already.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, come full circle.
100%. We've made the connection. Great.
It has to be the title. It has to
100%. We have to link it together.
We will do it. I will make sure we do it. But I'm so pleased that you were able to share that, about the transitioning home. It's a big thing. It's not really spoken about, and it sometimes can be as difficult as going over and just knowing, all of that. So I think and as a team and with our student athletes, we're trying to talk about it more and more and see what we can do in a support way to help with that. But I think for us, what really highlighted it for us is having, team members who have joined the Study and Play team to work for us, and they've come straight from college, and you see it, you feel it, you're a part of it with them, of them just adjusting to a different life. And even though it was, we're probably getting close to 28 years ago for Chris, he still remembers how,
it's
difficult that was.
100%. It's like, sorry to cut you off, but like, it's like, what's it like being a student athlete? It's like, you just can't even explain it. Like, it's kind of just something you go through that you then understand and relate to others. And so I think the idea that like the timeline is so individual is so important to highlight. Like, everyone's going to be at different stages in the journey. It's like where you are in your rowing journey, or like if you're in the recruitment process, or if you're deciding if you want to go into this and whatever. Like, I think understanding that no timeline is like this static thing, like it's dynamic, and it's never going to be the same thing for everyone. And so when you're going through this, the idea that we've kind of said a million times and circle back to that, like, be kind to yourself, like let yourself feel everything is so important. Like, and I think 100%. Letting yourself talk to people and be vulnerable about how you're feeling is so important. Like, I couldn't have got through what happened with that chill. Like, Sophie, I was literally like, are you in the trenches too? She was like, absolutely, babe. Like, we are down bad right now. Like, I'm booking a flight tomorrow, like, kind of thing.
Sometimes just hearing someone, not that you need someone else to feel the same way that you do.
It almost validates how you feel.
It does. It's like, okay, so this isn't just me. This is probably normal.
100%.
And something I think, and that's why just us talking about this, if a student athlete, or someone that's in their senior year, just starting their senior year, just to start thinking about this, to have an awareness, if that helps, that's awesome.
Amazing. Because I just wasn't even ready. And I literally said that to my coach. Like, I was like, so you didn't tell me how crap the transition home was going to be. She was like, yeah, sorry about that. I was like, I literally like, what are we doing? Like, I was like, I don't see you every day. It's so weird. It's just, I think raising awareness to that fact is really important. Like, I have a lot of friends graduating in May. And so I will be letting them know, like, Kiwis and Aussies and everything. So I'm going to be like, just a heads up. That's pretty cool. So like talking about it. And so, I think it's really important to highlight that for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Sarah, I'm putting my proud mum hat back on, but honestly, you don't need to hear it from me. You should be so incredibly proud
Thank
of
you.
yourself, the journey that you have been on, what you've achieved. But I think more than all of those things on that honor, career honor roll that I listed out is just the personal growth that I have seen, and I don't know you as well as others, right? But even I can see that, right, in the time, the personal growth that you have experienced, and I think you've just embraced it all, good, bad, ugly, everything, and just it's awesome to see. And I think I think you
That
should
means
be
a lot.
really proud of yourself.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. It's good, bad, and ugly is definitely a great way to put it. Like I think America is a can of worms in itself, and so I think like putting yourself in that situation in the first place is something you should be proud of for any athlete that's doing it, because it's a huge decision. Like it's not something to take lightly. And I think like just I don't even know what I'm saying at this point, but like just like who you become once you go over is not who you are like when you leave, if that makes sense. Like
it really does.
Experience so many things that I can't even list to you right now that were like life-changing moments, but it genuinely changed my life for the better. And I'm like, I know we spoke about like we're not trying to sell it, but I can't not. Like I literally can't not. Like it's like it was genuinely the best thing I've ever done. If someone ever comes to me, should I do it? I'm like, yeah, like you need to do it, because it's you can tailor your experience to your school with what you want out of it. And I think if you go in, I think if there was any advice for myself going into this, it would be like, what do you want out of this experience? Do you want to go over, meet friends, row on the side, and then do college and get a degree? Do you want to go over and be competitive and be a part of a team that goes from 25th to 3rd? Like, do you want to do that stuff? Like, what are you after? And I think the good, the bad, the ugly will be tailored to that experience. And so like getting into it in that way, I think I would have loved to have had that said to me, because I genuinely was just like, whatever, I'm going to the States. But like, no, you're going to change as a human being. Like you don't even understand. I can't even explain to you how you're going to change. Like you were just going to, every time I came home, mum goes, you're so different in a good way. I'm like, great. That's good news. Like, great. So
I see it all the time. And it's just the intangibles that happen to you over there that you can't even, there's the stuff that you can list out. Yes, you're going to get scholarship. Yes, you may not come home with the HECS, you're not going to have a HECS debt if you get a full scholarship. You're going to get this. They're all the things that you can just put on a PowerPoint slide and dot point out. But there's 10 times the amount of those things that just live in between it that you can't even identify. And that's the hard stuff to get across, right? And that's what you're trying to. And it's just, and that's where the passion comes from, because you've lived it, you've experienced it, you've seen the outcomes of the impact that it's had on you. And the fact that the closest people around you see that as well is awesome. So it's those intangibles that just,
it sets it apart from the other experience for sure. Like those moments are what make it worth it. Like I obviously am so stoked to have done my whole experience and to have made the team, but like to have developed into who I am today, like, and have a bit of the American, like, back yourself vibe. Like, I think I'm so grateful that I went and was able to experience all of those things, because it shaped me into who I am today. Like every life experience we have is a lesson. And I think the way we grow and adapt from those moments is what shape us as people. And so moving across the world at 18 is definitely one of those experiences that are going to shape you. And if you are closed off to it, you're not going to be able to embrace everything that's coming for you. And I think one messenger chat is going to change everything. And like, if you're closed off to it, like it's not going to happen, So I think
exactly.
Example. So that I 100% agree with everything you're saying. So
So I am going to finish our chat on a fun note. You mentioned country bars in Knoxville. Our family are hardcore country music fans.
Love it. Hardcore. Okay. Yeah.
Have you been?
I have been changed. I wasn't.
Yeah. Come on, one person at a time.
At all. I hated it. Like, I was like, get me away from the country bum. Like, get away. I literally have an entire playlist like dedicated to it. Like, I saw Morgan Wallen live. Like, I like obsessed with country music now. I am struggling to listen to it at the moment on my timeline of transitioning. Country music isn't my go-to at the minute. But like, I love country music now. Like, I love it. It's so good. Like, I feel like I've matured in that way, you know, like I've matured in my music taste.
Yeah, mature people listen to country.
100%.
Yeah. So who's your favourite?
Oh, Chris Stapleton, for sure.
Oh, stop, us too.
Yeah.
We saw him last year. No, this year. He came this year to Australia. Far out.
Was he incredible?
Oh my! And talk about. So I cried at wrestling. I cried at Chris Stapleton.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah, I did.
He's just probably leave would come on, and I would be. Done. I'm done for.
So good.
Oh, seriously. Oh my God. His voice. I'm like, yeah, he's just insane.
Yeah.
And when he sings to his wife, don't even get me started.
I know we've gone off on a complete tangent, but the whole concert was him and his wife just singing to each other. It's like I felt like I was just in their living room.
Seriously, and you're in this huge stadium, and it's like
unreal.
It's like, oh my God.
I know.
He's incredible. Chris Stapleton for sure is my go-to.
Well, I am so pleased you've been converted.
That should be a selling point. You will love country music.
That's it. Absolutely, you have to.
I think zero people would sign up for the
I know. I think my 16-year-old son is like the only boy in his school that listens to country. Everyone's like listening to Drake. And
like, you're mature, honey, don't worry.
Yeah, I was like, you're just ahead of your time. Don't worry. Don't let them say anything to you. You got this.
100%. So funny.
Oh, Sarah, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I'm just reflecting already on everything that we spoke about and how much that is just going to help athletes who are in the process, living it now, transitioning back. We've touched on every last bit of it. And I just feel you've imparted so much wisdom that it's honestly, just it's so valuable, right? So thank you. I appreciate you giving us your time.
No, thank you for having me and listening to me ramble and say the same thing in different ways. Like, I appreciate it, but
no way.
Always glad to be here and talk about it because I literally am so on the train of everyone go. So
amazing. Well, thanks for joining us, Sarah.
No, thank you for having me. It was great to chat.